Next concept, solid redirecting. Next concept, solid redirecting. You have seen solid forwarding, solid including.
Recording in progress.
Solid forwarding, solid including. In solid forwarding, solid including possible within the server only. Okay, that's what we'll go for. Another concept, solid redirecting. Between two servers communication, if you want, solid redirecting required. I'll give first note on. In solid redirecting, server instructs the browser to execute next URL. In solid redirecting, server instructs the browser to execute next URL. In solid redirecting, server instructs the browser to execute next URL. See, you have seen forwarding, including. Forwarding works within the server only. Including also works within the server only. But redirecting between two different servers also possible. That is, I'll give notes also. First, you see the concept. In solid redirecting, server instructs the browser to execute next URL. Otherwise, we can write like this: passing control from one solid to another solid. Passing control from one solid to another solid is called as solid redirecting. Passing control from one solid to another solid is called as solid redirecting. Passing control from one solid to another solid is called as solid redirecting. Passing control from one solid to another solid is called as solid redirecting. First, what exactly redirecting, I'll show you. Passing control from one solid to another solid is called as solid redirecting. Suppose it is first solid, it is second solid, first solid, it is second solid. These two in server. These two in web server. Say first solid, second solid. You studied forwarding concept. In forwarding, what is happening? You are sending request to first solid. First solid will forward the request and response to second solid. Say you are sending request to first solid. First solid code executed. After that, it is forwarded to second solid. Second solid code executed. Response comes from second solid. This is we are calling like a forwarding. Okay. Say from browser, we are sending request to first solid. Suppose it is a web client. Now here suppose HTTP colon localhost colon 8082 slash forward slash first. If I write my request passed to first solid executed, and control passed to second solid executed, output comes from second solid, but URL pattern not changed. This is your seen. Okay, but redirecting is different. Redirecting is different. What will be happen? Just you observe here. From client system, I'll send the request to first solid. Suppose redirect first. Now this request I'll pass to first solid. Now here I'll write redirect. Then what will be happen is control pass it to browser. Here control pass it to browser. Then this first modified as second. This first modified as second. And from browser, request comes to second solid. Then second solid executed. From this, response comes to browser. It is HTTP response. But not only this request, this response, this is also called response. This is also called client request. These two lines we are calling like a redirecting. These two lines we are calling like a redirecting. Now, from browser, from web client, I'm sending request to which solid? First solid. First solid executed. Control passed to browser. Browser URL pattern changed. From browser again one more request comes. It is executed. You'll get output. But forwarding what will happen? From here itself control passed to server second solid. But here server instructs the browser. So browser knows in this case. Their browser doesn't know. But here browser knows. Just write this one diagram. So forwarding diagram different, redirecting diagram different. Note down. Is it over? Say from client system, I'm sending request to first servlet. First servlet code executed, and next servlet URL pattern passed to browser. In the browser window, that URL pattern changed. Then again request comes to second servlet. Then second servlet code executed, that output comes to browser. That output comes to browser. Here, in this case, browser involved. So browser knows how many servlets executed. Okay. Now, if it is forwarding, what will happen? From year to year directly forwarded. Then browser involvement not there. But here browser involved. Browser involved in this case. Okay. Now, already forward include program you have seen. That program only, I'll make it redirecting. What will be happen? Just you observe. Now, forwarding including program you studied. That program only, I'll make it redirecting. How to redirect? Method required. HTTP servlet response. HTTP servlet response method. Send redirect. This method required. Node. It is used to redirect the control from one servlet to another servlet. Here, next servlet URL pattern you have to write. URL pattern of next servlet. To which servlet you want to redirect, that servlet URL pattern we have to pass as a parameter. HTTP servlet response reference dot send redirect URL pattern you have to write. It is redirected to that particular servlet. Is it over? After program, I'll give notes about redirecting. See, forward program include program you studied. That program only, forward place redirect I'll write. See, this program you studied already. See here forwarding, here including. This program once again I'll execute. Say right click, run on server. Next, finish. Here homepage.html. Okay, homepage.html. After getting this login.html, I'll type username, I'll type password. If I click on submit query, how many servlets executed? Give me answer. How many servlets? 2 servlets executed. What are those? Login servlet, welcome servlet. 2 servlets executed. Output comes from which servlet? Which servlet? Welcome servlet. In the address bar, which servlet URL pattern appears? Login servlet URL pattern. Okay. Say submit button I clicked. Say this output is from welcome servlet. This URL pattern is login servlet. Okay. Now back. If I type wrong password, if I click on submit button, how many programs executed? 2 programs. What are those? Login servlet, login.html. In address bar, which servlet URL pattern appears? Login servlet. But output is login servlet output as well as HTML program output also. See, invalid username password. It is login servlet output. It is HTML output. But in address bar, login servlet URL pattern. Okay. This is your scene. Now I'll open login servlet. In login servlet, just you observe here requested dispatcher RD equal to requested dot get requested dispatcher. Okay, get requested dispatcher here welcome. It is welcome servlet URL pattern. RD dot forward. So request and response forwarded to welcome servlet. Okay, request and response forwarded to welcome servlet. Here request, here response, these 2 forwarded to welcome servlet. These 2 forwarded to welcome servlet. Now same request, same response, whatever is created here, this request, this response forwarded to welcome servlet. That is the concept. Now here, which type of request received by this servlet? Post type request. Same request, same response forwarded to welcome servlet. Okay. Now that's what in welcome servlet also I written 2 posts. It is received from login servlet. It is not created. I given already notes. Okay. Now what I'll do is login servlet to welcome servlet. I'll remove these 2 lines. I want to redirect. Okay. If you want to redirect, just now method I given. What is the method name? Send redirect. Send redirect method is in which interface? HTTP servlet response. It is HTTP servlet response. With this response, can I call? Yes. What we have tried? Response dot send redirect. Okay. Now welcome. response dot send redirect welcome. Now, just forward place redirect a return. What will be happen? Just you observe. See, it is login solid. It is welcome solid. Here, login solid, welcome solid. Here, forward. If you write forward, now from here, browser. From browser, we are sending request to login solid. That actually HTML page. Through HTML page, we'll click on submit button. Then request comes. It is executed. It is forwarded. It is executed. Okay. But redirecting, what is happening? It is suppose redirecting. Here I'll write redirect. This information passed to browser. From browser, again one more request comes. That means here this request coming to welcome solid or new request coming to welcome solid. New request coming to welcome solid. New request. It is not same request. New request is coming to welcome solid. New request, which type of request comes by default? Get type or post type? By default, which type? Get type. So here in a welcome solid, what I written? Post. But actually, which type of request comes now? Get type. If I run this program, what will happen? See. Right click, run as, run on server, save. Just a forward place, I written redirect. Forward place, I written redirect. Okay. Now. Here, homepage.html. Now, homepage.html, I typed in browser. My request passed to server now. Which type of request passed now? This is also request. Which type request? By default, get. So get type request passed. Now received. I'll click on login. Then again request passed now. Which type of request passed? Are you understanding? Which type of request is passed? Get type only. Get type request passed, we'll get it. Here I'll type username. I'll type password. Now if I click submit button, one more request passed, no? Which type request? Post. Because in that program method equal to post I written. By default is get. If you don't write anything, get. If you write post, post. Now from if I click on submit button, my request passed to login solid. Which type of request passed? Post type. In login solid, which method I written? Do post. That is executed. After that, redirected to which solid? Redirected to which solid? Welcome solid. Redirection time, what will happen? That information passed to browser. From browser, next request comes. Then which type of request comes? Which type? Get type. But in the program, what I written? Do post. Will it execute? No. This error comes. Okay, that is browser not recognized. 1 minute. Previous output displayed. Sometimes browser immediately it cannot recognize. Now I'll change the browser. Sometimes immediately that browser cannot recognize. That will be happen. That old concept only working. You observe. Homepage.html. Now login. Username AAA. Password AAA. If I click on submit. Wait 1 minute. Just I'll restart the server. No, I'm not changing any code. Code already written. Saved also. I'll stop the server. I'll restart. homepage.html. Homepage.html. I'll click on login, username AAA, password AAA. If I click on submit button, 1 minute. I'll restart Eclipse, but it's not recognized. What we are getting, see, I didn't change any code. That is not recognized. Okay. See what we are getting. HTTP method get is not supported by this URL. HTTP method get is not supported by this URL. Which type of request came? Get type. But what we written in the program? Do post. But how it will handle? It is not supported. No? Now which one we have tried now? Do get we have tried. Okay. See, forwarding what will happen? Forwarding what will happen? Whatever is there, that will come here. Redirecting what is happening. Redirecting what is happening. This control password to browser, from browser, new request coming. New request, which type will be there? Get type. That's what here do get required. See, HTTP method get is not supported by this URL. It cannot handle. So we have to write do get. Now this program I'll change. Welcome solid. What I'll do, see here, do get. Do get a return. Now I'll run this program. Right click, run on server. Now homepage.html, login, username, password. If I click on submit button, what you are getting? Welcome null. You're not getting AAA because it is new request. In that request, data will not be there. Null will be there, empty. That's what null you are getting. And also you observe URL pattern, what is appearing? Welcome. Login solid executed. Welcome solid executed. You are getting output from welcome solid. In address bar, welcome solid URL pattern. URL pattern changed because browser knows this is. But data not displayed. Reason, data will not come. Only control. Only control came to next welcome solid. In that control, data will not be there. Data, that's what null displayed. So forwarding, including forwarding, redirecting, not same. Differences are there. Okay. That is, first I'll give notes. First of all, forwarding and redirecting, it is not same. Got it? First, once again, see here, login solid. It is welcome solid. Forward means like this only control password. Okay. Redirecting means, and here the control password to browser, from browser it is coming. Okay. Here whatever request is there, that request forwarded. Here, whatever request is there, that is vanished. Next response password to browser to new request comes. In that request, data will not be there. That's what null displayed. Okay. Now, this forward information browser doesn't know. Redirect information browser knows. In redirecting, browser involvement will be there. In forwarding, browser involvement is not there. Okay. Forwarding, server implicitly forwards. Redirecting, it will inform to browser. Then browser requests it will send. That is redirecting. Now, here same request, same response passed to second solid. Here, new request comes to here. New request, new response. That is vanished there itself. That's what only control comes to next solid in redirecting. That's the main difference. Okay. Now, forwarding, redirecting program, only one line I changed. One line. That's what you do is only this code, write it enough. Okay. Now, here first example. Here just example. Login solid.java. Login solid.java. Here example login solid.java. Only this code. Same as above. After that, this if condition, write it. Again, same as above, write it enough. Only if condition code we changed. Example login solid.java. Same as above. This is the code. Again, same as above. Now, if I click on submit button, in login.html, then how many programs executed? How many programs executed? 2 programs. What are those? Login solid, welcome solid. Login solid executed, welcome solid executed. In forwarding, you are getting welcome AAA. In redirecting, you are getting welcome null. In forwarding, URL pattern login solid. In redirecting, URL pattern welcome solid. That is you observe no? That about that notes I'll give. Is it completed? Now, solid forwarding versus solid redirecting. 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 Solid forwarding. One side solid forwarding. One more side solid redirecting. Solid forwarding versus solid redirecting. Note forwarding request and response of one solid to another solid is called as solid forwarding. Passing control from one solid to another solid is called as solid redirecting. Forwarding requests and response of one solid to another solid is called as solid forwarding. Passing control from one solid to another solid is called as solid redirecting. Forwarding requests and response of one solid to another solid is called as solid forwarding. Passing control from one solid to another solid is called as solid redirecting. See, solid forwarding. What is the meaning of that one is forwarding request and response of one solid to another solid. But redirecting nothing but just a passing control. That is redirecting. Okay. Here, server implicitly forwards the request and response of one solid to another solid. Here, server implicitly forwards the request and response of one solid to another solid. Here, server implicitly forwards the request and response of one solid to another solid. Here, server instructs the browser to execute next solid. Here, server instructs the browser to execute next solid. So here, server implicitly forwards. Here, server instructs the browser to execute next solid. Here, forwarding same request response coming or new request response coming in forwarding. Same request. Redirecting, new request. So here only one pair of request and response. One pair of request and response. Here only one pair of request and response is created by web container. Here separate pair of request and response created for every solid. Here separate pair of request and response is created by web container for every solid. Here only one pair of request and response is created by web container. Here separate pair of request and response is created by web container for every solid. See, suppose here request, response. Created by web container for first solid. Here, suppose it is a first solid. This request, this response, it comes. It's a request, it's a response. Here, second solid. Okay. Same request, same response, it comes. In forwarding. So if you forward, like this works. Suppose redirecting. Redirecting request response. Created by web container for first solid. But here, if you redirect, one more separate pair created. If you redirect, here again request and response created. Created by web container for second solid. It is another pair. Created by web container for second solid. First solid, second solid. Created by web container for second solid. So separate pair created in this case. So here whatever is created, that is only forwarded. Here whatever is created, it is vanished. Another pair created. That's what here you are getting null. Data will not come. The data vanished there itself. So in forwarding different, redirecting different. In forwarding different, redirecting different. So here created request response forwarded. In the forward method, request and response we are writing. That is copied into second solid. But here redirect method only URL pattern we are writing. No request, no response. That is vanished there itself. New request, new response come from browser. That's what here data you are not getting. That's what output you are getting null. Here you are getting output. Here you are getting null. Is it completed? Say, assume this is login solid. This is welcome solid. Login solid request response comes to welcome solid. In the login solid request, username password is there. That it comes here. That's what welcome username we are getting. But here login solid, it is welcome solid. And here redirected to browser. From browser it is coming. That's what in this day request null will be there, empty data. That's what null you are getting. Next. Here both data and control pass it to next solid. Here only control pass it to next solid. Here both data and control pass it to next solid. Here only control pass it to next solid. Here both data and control pass it to next solid. Here only control pass it to next solid. Next. Here URL pattern changed or not changed in a forwarding? Changed or not changed? Not changed. Redirecting? Changed. See, write it. Here URL pattern is not changed. Here URL pattern is changed. Here URL pattern is not changed. Here URL pattern is changed. It supports solid to solid, HTML and JSP. Solid to solid, HTML, JSP, ASP, ASP.NET, PHP, etc. So other technologies also possible. Java to .NET, Java to Python, Java to PHP, Java to Django, like so many technologies are there in the market. Any technology. It supports solid to solid, HTML, JSP, ASP, ASP.NET, PHP. So many. Etc. Because only control. That's what it supports. Suppose Java object, .NET will understand. Will it understand? No. Here data pass no. That is the reason it cannot understand. But here only control no. You can pass. Java to .NET also possible. .NET to Java also possible. So some websites, multiple technologies they'll use. Multiple technology. Java to .NET, .NET to Java, like that also will be there. In that situation also redirecting possible. And also server to server. That is also possible. Next. Forwarding works within the server only. Redirecting works within the server and between two different servers also. Redirecting works within the server and between two different servers also. Forwarding works within the server only. Redirecting works within the server and between two different servers also. Suppose it is Amazon website. You'll purchase some items. You will enter credit card number. That it comes to gateway, payment gateway. Again, that gateway, it will send to bank server. Okay. Now here, it is Amazon website. It is payment gateway website. Okay. It is payment gateway. It is bank website. Bank server. It is Amazon server. It is payment gateway server. It is bank server. Now credit card number will enter here. That card is valid or not valid, doesn't know. It will pass to payment gateway. Payment gateway will check valid or not valid, but it doesn't know that card limit exceeded or not. It will pass to bank server. Bank server knows whether it is exceeded or not. Okay. Three servers communication is going on. Can we write forward here? Can we write? No. Can we write include? No. Can we write redirect? Yes. But in redirecting, what will happen? Like here redirect, you'll write control comes. Here redirect, control comes. But credit card number will not come, no? Data will not come. Only control comes, no? That's what one more concept is there. Okay. Like forward you studied. That is not possible. Redirecting we used it, but redirecting data will not come. For bringing credit card number, bringing debit card number, one more concept is there. That is you have to learn. It is only control came. Data not came, no? Welcome null you are getting. But how to bring the data? That I'll show you. Okay. See, this Amazon server may be developed in Java. Payment gateway may be developed in .NET. And this bank server may be developed in Python. Different technologies are there in the market. PHP, like that. But forward not possible. Server to server not possible. Different technologies not possible. But redirecting possible. But in redirecting, data will not come. That is also problem, is there? So that's what we have some other concepts. Those concepts I'll explain. First of all, forwarding, redirecting, including these concepts. Is it clear? Say here redirect a return. Okay. Now login.html program. Login.html program I'll open. Login.html. Whenever you click on submit button, the value of action attribute in a form tag executed. Okay. Whenever you click on submit button, the value of action attribute in a form tag executed. Which type of request coming? Post type request coming to login solid. Control comes to login solid. And it is redirecting. Is it same request passed to welcome solid or new request passed to welcome solid? New request passed to welcome solid. Now it is login.html. I written post. That's what in login solid do post. This request response vanished here itself. new request comes to welcome solid. That means which type of request coming? Get. That's what do get. But with that request, if you call uname, there is no uname. New request, no, this is new request. That's what if you try to print, what will happen? It is null printed. It is null printed. Okay. But in redirecting login solid to welcome solid, data will not come. That is the reason you are getting output welcome null. But how to bring the data? For that, one more concept is there, that is session tracking. Okay. First, server to server, if you want to send server to server, if you want to communicate, server to server communication possible with redirecting. But in redirecting, data will not come. Data will not come. Okay, we have to go for one more concept, session tracking. Now, next concept, session tracking. Next concept, session tracking. Suppose one question I'll ask, give me answer. Suppose it is browser. In this browser, you will type here http://www.google.com. You'll type. Okay, in real time, you'll type http://www.google.com. In a fraction of seconds, this may be changed like this. In google.co.in, you'll get a Google homepage here. Output comes. This concept is forwarding or including or redirecting or any other. Think yourself and give me answer. What is this? Redirecting. Say, actually what will happen is here, from browser, you will type http://www.google.com. Google.com website placed in many servers to handle requests for load balancing purpose. Because Google worldwide, many requests comes to Google. Total worldwide rating, if you take, more than 2.5 crores of requests coming in a 1 minute for Google. That much popular. So 2.5 crores of requests coming. 2.5 crores within a 1 minute, not in 1 day. Within a 1 minute. Okay. See, 2.5 crores of requests one server cannot handle. That is the reason sub-servers they are maintaining. Sub-servers. In India, one server. In different countries, UK one server, New Zealand's one server, like that, servers are there. .com, nothing but USA server. .co.in, it is nothing but India server. .co.uk, that is UK server. .co.nz, New Zealand server. Like that, different countries, they are maintaining different servers. Now, you will type http://www.google.com. What will be happen is, your request passed to USA server. Your request passed to USA server. USA server, suppose it is already, it is free. Server is free. Then this server only will send the response to your system. That server is busy. That server is busy. Then what it will do here? One URL pattern comes. Then it is modified. http://www.google.com, google.co.in. Then it will identify this request from India. Then after identifying, URL pattern changed. Then this request comes to browser another server, google.co.in. From this one, you are getting output. See, you are sending to USA server. USA server sending to your browser. Again, your browser is sending to India server. India server sending to your system. Now, here one browser, two servers. You observe. But you are not typing code.in. Automatically comes. Now, you have seen in previous program. Login.html submit button clicked. Then URL pattern login. That is redirected to welcome solid. Then login modified as welcome. Automatically. Here google.com modified as google.co.in. But you are typing .com only. That is coming .co.in. That is automatically coming. That is server will send to browser. You are not typing. This concept is called redirecting. It is redirecting. Say you are sending to google.com US server. US server send a response URL. With that URL, India server. From India server, you are getting output. Okay. Then that is internally done. But this is generally you may or may not observe. You will type google.com, you will get a Google home page. That's it. Sometimes it will be happen. See, I'll open browser. I'll type google.com. I'll type google.com. It is from google.com only came response, not changed. Okay. Suppose google.co.in. It is coming from India server only. Sometimes if you type .com also, it is india.co.in appears. That is, if server is busy, it will do like that. That automatically changed. Okay. Here, that is nothing but redirecting. That is nothing but redirecting. Now, in redirecting, only control pass to next solid. Data will not come. How to bring the data with session tracking, you will see. Now, first, next heading, session tracking. Note down. A session is a time period between a login and logout. A session is a time period between login and logout. A session is a time period between login and logout. First, what is session means? It is a time period between login and logout. Whenever you click on login button, until you click on logout button, that time period is called session. Okay. Say, for example, our class 4 to 6, it's called one session. 4 to 6, it's called one session. But exact to 4 to 6, I'm not taking. But whenever I started until finishing of that also, it is called one session. Here also, whenever you click on login, until you click on logout, that much time period is called one session. The session may be 1 minute also, 2 minutes also, 2 hours also, 2 days also. We cannot predict. Suppose you'll open Gmail. Just you want to see how many mails came today. Within a fraction of a second, again you'll close. That much time period is called one session. So continuously you may browse 1 hour. That is also one session. You may use 2 days also. That is also one session. We cannot predict. So that's what. A session is a time period between login and logout. Whenever you click on login until you log out, that is called one session. Suppose in your mobile, you are not going to log out also. Continuously logged in only, no? That is continuously that session only running. So 1 month also, 1 year also you'll maintain. That type also one session. So generally in a mobile, you're not going to log out. Already logged in. That is only you're continuing continuously. Okay. So a session is a time period between login and logout. What is session tracking? Note down. A session tracking is a mechanism that Soulets use to maintain client state information about a series of requests from the same user across some time period. A session tracking is a mechanism that Soulets use to maintain client state information about a series of requests from the same user across some time period. A session tracking is a mechanism that Soulets use to maintain client state information about a series of requests from the same user across some time period. A session tracking is a mechanism that Soulets use to maintain client state information about a series of requests from the same user across some time period. So session tracking nothing but its own mechanism. That mechanism, what it will do, who will use? Soulets only we use to maintain client state information. What is client state information? I'll explain. Just note on. Client state information can be username, comma, password, comma, examination ID, comma, shopping items, comma, account number, dash, dash, etc. Client state information can be username, password, examination ID, shopping items, account number, dash, dash, etc. A session tracking is a mechanism that Soulets use to maintain client state information about a series of requests from the same user across some time period. Say, actually, what is this? I'll explain with one example. That example present, no need to write. While giving a program, I'll give a diagram. At the time, specific diagrams I'll give. At the time, you can write. Just listen to understand this concept. Say, it is a time period between login and logout. That much time period, some data maintained. That is called session tracking. Now, I'll explain. For example, this is no need to write the diagram. Just listen the class. Suppose it is server. It's a database. Now, what exactly session tracking with this diagram you'll understand. But later, session tracking methods are there, separate methods. At the time, separate diagrams I'll give. Web server, database, web server and database connected together. Then n number of clients can use the server. Suppose web client 1, web client 2, web client 3. 3 clients are communicating with server. Now listen with concentration. It is the most important topic in the entire Soulets. Okay, Soulets is the most important topic. You observe, suppose for example, Gmail. Okay, Gmail box. 1 minute. Say, suppose Gmail or Yahoo Mail, any mail application. Very first time, what you'll do, you'll type username, you'll type password from client system. username, password comes to server. You'll type your username, your password. Username, password comes to server. Server communicates with database. Given username, password is there or not, it will check in the database. If exists, then mailbox, it is passed to browser. Here, you will get a list of mails. All mails displayed, right side, left side, hyperlinks displayed. Hyperlinks. Spam hyperlink, trash hyperlink, logout hyperlink, like this hyperlinks displayed. Now, very first time, this web clients one, he entered username AAA. Some password he entered. Username, password received by server. Server communicates with database. Given username, password exists or not, it will check. Exist. Then AAA users, mails displayed. Left side, spam, trash, logout displayed. Here, second user, he will type username BBB, password BBB, and request comes to server. Server communicate with database. BBB mails loaded. Here, same 3 hyperlinks displayed. Spam, trash, logout. Spam, trash, logout. Here, CCC mailbox. CCC mailbox displayed. Again here, spam, trash, logout. Now, okay. Now, this is whose mailbox? AAA mailbox. This is whose mailbox? BBB mailbox. This is whose mailbox? CCC user. Okay, some usernames, whatever you want, you can write. Now, here AAA mailbox, BBB mailbox, CCC mailbox. Now, they got mails, they are browsing mails. Suppose web client 2, this person clicked spam. This person clicked spam. Then request password to server. Server communicates with database. Then mail spam box comes. Whose spam box comes? Whose user? BBB user. BBB user spam box comes. But how server knows this is clicked by BBB user? What do you point? Now, how this person knows, how server knows this is clicked by BBB user? Are you typing username, password again? No, you are not typing. You are going to click the hyperlink, that's it. If you click, your spam box only comes. Okay, but how server knows this is clicked by BBB user? What do you mind? Now, suppose this person clicked trash. Request password communicates with database. Response comes. Whose trash box comes? AAA trash box. How server knows this is clicked by AAA user? What do you mean? Is this computer IP address is unique? No. Computer IP address is not unique in the world. My system IP address, your system IP address, same. Our system, our network, in your college network or bank network or insurance company network, air ticket booking network, same network IP address. Yahoo, Gmail, Facebook, Google, that IP address is unique in the world. Server computer IP address only unique in the world. But client system IP address not unique in the world. Your mobile number is unique, but your computer IP address is not unique in the world. Listen. It is the most important, already told you. Now, here, how server knows this is clicked by AAA user, BBB user, CCC user? Here, these computer IP address are not unique in the world. Your system IP address, my system IP address, same will be there. our institute network, your college network, IP address, same will be there. IP addresses are not unique in the world. Your mobile number is unique in the world. Server system IP addresses are unique in the world. Okay. Here, actually, what is happening internally, just you observe internally what is happening. Whenever you type username password very first time, whenever you type username password here, username AAA, password AAA, that one comes, communicates with database, given username password exists. For that user, one ID created. That ID, for example, 101, assume. For that user, one ID created. That ID called as session ID. One ID created. That ID called as session ID. That ID will be 30, 40 letters will be there. Not 101, not 3 digits. 30 to 40 letters will be there. In that, alphabets will be there, numeric will be there. Special symbols also will be there. Alphabets will be there, numeric symbols, digits will be there, special symbols will be there, many things will be there. All ASCII codes will be there. That ID created. That ID passed to client system while passing mailbox. While passing inbox, ID also passed. That ID, without asking your permission, in your system, it is stored. In your system, it is stored. It is automatically stored in your browser. That ID will be stored. And whenever this person will send a username and password, for this user also one ID created. Suppose username BBB. For this user, one ID created. That ID passed to browser. In this browser, that ID stored 1 or 2. Same style for this user also one ID created. One ID created. That ID is stored here. Now, whenever this person clicks spam hyperlink, spam request comes. With that request, 1 or 2 also comes. Then server will check 1 or 2 is there or not. 1 or 2 is running. Then server will understand this is clicked by BBB user. Then server communicates with database. It will bring the BBB spam box that will send. Suppose this person clicked trash box. Trash request comes to server. With that request, 101 comes. Then 101 matched. Then server will understand this is clicked by AAA user. Then communicates with database. AAA trash box comes. It will receive. Suppose this person clicked logout. Logout request comes. 103 comes. Then server will understand CCC user clicked logout. Then it will vanish. Response comes. Then here also vanished. Suppose this person forgot to log out. He forgot to log out. Another person, suppose that is CyberCafe system. Another person will come and sit. He'll type gmail.com. But then with the Gmail request comes. With that 101 comes. Then server will understand this request from AAA user. And directly AAA's Gmail box comes. He forgot to log out. Then AAA Gmail box comes. But he typed gmail.com only. With that request, AAA 101 comes. Then server doesn't know other person or same person. That session is running. That session only it will send. This mechanism is called session tracking. This mechanism is called session tracking. With this session tracking mechanism only, user no need to type username, password again and again. Once if you click, type very first time you enter username, password. Your username, password somewhere stored. With that only it can recognize whether you clicked or other person clicked. Like how it will understand that for this system browser purpose one ID created. From that browser, whichever request comes, that user only it will understand. For every browser, one ID created. That ID. With that ID, it will understand. This mechanism is called session tracking mechanism. If this mechanism is not there, for every page, you have to enter username, password. Every page, username, password, username, password. And nowadays, No need to log out also sometimes. Like whenever you click on browser close button, automatically logged out. Whenever you click on back button, automatically logged out. After time interval, automatically logged out. Some browsers, some application, 2 hours one session. After 2 hours, automatically logged out. Then again one message comes, your session has been expired. Type username, password again. Okay. And some more examples, like more confidential data is there. And keyboard, mouse, if you don't touch for 1 minute, automatically vanished. Your session has been expired also, it shows. More confidential data is there. Suppose, for example, income tax website open. If you don't touch 1 minute, keyboard and mouse, it will be logged out. Automatically logged out. Again, it will ask username, password. You are browsing only. Yourself only you are browsing. But it doesn't know. After 1 minute, automatically logged out. Because security purpose. Suppose you'll open your income tax office website. You'll browse your income details, all those things you are going to browse. While browsing, you may get a call. You'll go outside. Other person can see, no? That's what, fraction of seconds. If you don't touch keyboard and mouse, within a 1 minute, automatically logged out. More confidential data is there. That type code also written. So whenever you click on login, until you click on logout, that is called session. But security purpose, no need to click logout also. Automatically after time interval logged out. That is also called one session. So that much time period will maintain some data to recognize the client. That mechanism is called session tracking. That is client state information maintained. Some application username, password maintained. Some application examination ID maintained. Some application shopping items maintained. Some application account number maintained. Some application policy number maintained. Some application debit card credit number maintained. Different application, different data will be there. That data maintained. Because why this mechanism is HTTP protocol, it will not maintain the session. That is the reason required. Our protocol, whatever we are using, it is stateless protocol. It doesn't maintain the state. If maintain the state, until you get a response, that connection is dedicated. That problem will be there. That is the reason it doesn't maintain. That is the reason we have to maintain. That mechanism is called session tracking. This is just introduction I given. Tomorrow I'll continue. Okay. Tomorrow I'll see continuation.